hope this morning's convocation will provide you with an opportunity to understand the mission of the Tunxis Community College Foundation and Advisory Board, and incentivize you to be as active as your time and your means will allow in moving forward the mission of the foundation. I believe we have a slate of interesting and thought-provoking speakers this morning, and it's my plan, as I said a moment ago, to move through the program as smoothly and as efficiently as possible in order to have you out and on your way by before 9:45. CSCU President Mark Ajokian couldn't be here, and he can't be here because he's just finished some rotator cuff surgery, which is really tough surgery. But as I was saying to his chief of staff, if anybody can do it and recover quickly and appropriately, it's Mark. But he couldn't be here, so with us today is his chief of staff, Alice Pritchard, who will bring greetings from the president. Alice?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I do want to send regrets from President Mark Ajokian. He is recovering, had been surgery earlier this week, but I know he's here with you in spirit, and would have loved to have joined you to recognize the hard work of all the people in this room and your support. I want to take a quick second to thank Sal and Jim for their leadership. Good things happen when good people are in charge, so I think this is bodes well for where we're headed. I was thinking, and I just want to take 1 second. I was struck as I was thinking about the theme of today's event about opening doors, and I think it's very fitting, both because that is what community colleges do. They open doors. But also because we're beginning this important season of the year where we all are a little bit more generous, a little bit more conscious of those around us. And I just was struck by the similarity in the way that doors are opened through our community college in a similar way to those ways in which we open doors during the holiday season, to those who are falling on hard times, to veterans, particularly those who are coming home from deployment, from those who are new to our communities and are looking for ways in which to find a safe harbor. And I think that is what we do at the community colleges, and we do it partly because of the wonderful support of foundations, campus foundations that raise important resources and put them in the hands of students so that they can walk through those open doors and find the opportunities for their personal growth and their career growth. And I just think that that is so very important. So I want to share my thanks to the foundations, also to the faculty and staff who support those students who have that very important scholarship dollar, but mostly to the students who put your resources into very good work by studying and contributing and continuing their contributions to our community. So thank you all for your support, and I wish you all a very happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Throughout this morning, I will share with you the many ways in which your support here today and your support throughout the year translates into support for the students and the college. As an example, in 2016, the foundation provided in excess of $120,000 worth of scholarships, and the over 90 recipients of those scholarships in 2016. Stanley Black & Decker has been a repeat partner in its support for the Tunxis mission. This is the second year in a row that Stanley Black & Decker has served as a platinum sponsor. I'd like to call upon Josh Miller, Director of Human Resources at Stanley Black & Decker, to introduce Dr. James Lombella, President of Tunxis Community College, and also serving as President of Znuntuk Community College. Josh, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Josh Miller. I am the Director of Human Resources for Stanley Access Technologies. a division of Stanley Black & Decker. And I'm honored to stand up here and represent my organization and our partnership with Tunxis. In a few moments, you're going to begin hearing more about what Tunxis is doing to drive innovation and to drive our businesses forward. And especially I'm excited, and I heard more about it this morning, about things we're doing in the manufacturing space. With that said, it is my privilege to represent both Stanley Access Technologies, Stanley Black & Decker, and to introduce this morning our speaker, Dr. Jim Lombella.
Good morning, everyone. Truly an exciting day, especially for my first event for the economic breakfast here in Farmington. I'm excited to be here this morning addressing all of you, and I'm very pleased to have Vanessa Williams here as our keynote speaker today. Her remarks promise to be engaging, thought-provoking, for not only for our students, but for all of us in the room. Today's economic breakfast and your participation is a wonderful statement of support for our students, our faculty, and our programs. As a leader of your community college, it's important to me that each one of you knows that I'm truly vested in this educational community and in our region. The faculty, staff, the Tunxis Foundation, and I are all committed to providing an affordable, accessible, and high-quality education for all of our students. I'm happy to report that this fall, Tunxis experienced a 4.8% growth in enrollments, which is the highest growth in enrollments in our entire 17 college and university system. Let's hear it for Tunxis. For the first 4 months, I have embarked on a listening tour, and I've lost track of the number of one-on-one meetings I've had with our faculty, staff, and students. I have discovered the gem of Farmington, and it's called Tunxis Community College. I have discovered some of the best academic programs in our state, with wonderful faculty members who truly care about our students and their success. I have discovered amazing academic programs, such as our fully accredited business program, early childhood education, criminal justice, the only public fully accredited dental hygiene program in the state, human service degrees, there we go, human service degrees, engineering, visual arts, liberal arts, and more. I'm thoroughly impressed with the quality and the rigor of the programs we offer at Tunxis Community College. Now I'm going to take just a few moments to share some of my vision for Tunxis as we move forward. In the next few months, with the guidance of the foundation and the leadership at Tunxis, my goal is to build a strong connection between academic learning and our regional community, to cultivate relationships between businesses and industry and the academic programs that we offer, to enhance the existing relationships by bringing education and industry together, and to propel economic growth and opportunity for our students, our community, and for our region. With nearly 2 decades in the manufacturing industry, I bring a vision of increased advanced manufacturing education opportunities to our portfolio of programs at Tunxis. At Tunxis, we sit in the heart of advanced manufacturing technology with manufacturing industry partners all around us. We also house one of only 7 national regional centers for next-generation manufacturing in the nation. Additionally, Tunxis leads the College of Technology with stackable credentials and pathways from the community colleges to our university system, specifically Central Connecticut State University in manufacturing and engineering degrees. Tunxis is already a shining star on the national stage, and we plan to leverage this as we move and grow our manufacturing curriculum. I'm happy to report that construction begins in the next few weeks for an advanced manufacturing center right on our campus. This Advanced Technology Center will include CNC machining, electromechanical, robotics, 3D printing, quality inspection, and more. We will cross-pollinate these new technology programs with our current engineering programs and poise our students for great career opportunities and success right here in our region. And I'm talking about success with good-paying careers, careers that are aligned with our regional workforce needs. To achieve this, Tunxis will need the assistance of industry partners, like the ones in this room with us today. We need to expose our students to internship opportunities, tours of modern manufacturing facilities, and apprenticeships that work. This model of industry and partnerships that I envision is truly an example of neighbors helping neighbors, and that's what community is all about. I must say that this vision comes from experience, as we have created this model at Asnuntuck Community College in Enfield, where we bus in 200 high school students daily, where we send out instructors to 5 school systems, and we touch 3,000 youngsters beginning in the 4th grade and introducing them to advanced technologies, where our in-house high school program has students graduating high school with up to 30 college credits already in their pocket, and where over 1,500 incumbent workers come annually to train at Asnuntuck Community College. These proven programs are all on the horizon for Tunxis if I have my way, and I'll be honest, I like to have my way. We also need to work together to let educators and parents and guidance counselors know that manufacturing is not dirty, dark, and dank like it was in our grandparents' day. It is modern, it is bright, it is clean, it is touchscreens, it is robotics, it is clean rooms, and much more. There is so much opportunity in this region, it truly astounds me. In the last 4 months, I have spent time meeting with industry partners, attending Bristol Technical Advisory Council meetings, meetings with members of NESMA. Proud to say Tunxis is now a member of NESMA. There we go, let's hear it, let's hear it. I've met with the chambers, I've sent a team to both Bristol, Eastern, and Central high schools, all with the goal of establishing partnerships as we move forward. Simply put, everyone here today is invested in higher education. Investing in Tunxis, our students, our community, and investing in the growth of our region and our economy. I want to acknowledge our top sponsors and personally thank all the sponsors for their support today. Our signature sponsor for today is United Bank. Let's hear it for United Bank. Their sponsorship also includes 2 $1,000 scholarships for students, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that they have given the largest single donation to Asnuntuck Community College last year, $100,000. Truly, truly you are supporting education in our region, and I can't thank you enough. Stanley Black & Decker are our platinum sponsors. I thank you. Yours also includes scholarships for students today. Let's hear it for Stanley Black & Decker. Gold sponsor, Mott Corporation, also includes funds for our emergency funds and scholarships for our students. Let's hear it for Mott Corporation. Our silver sponsor today is Webster Bank. Let's hear it for Webster Bank. They also are supporting our students. And I ask to please take the time to look through your booklets, look at our poster board up here. Our silver sponsors, our Bronze Plus sponsors, our Academic Success Center sponsors, Tunxis student textbook sponsors. We have full table sponsors for students that are here with us this morning, half table sponsors. All of you in this room, everybody supporting education. This is what it's all about. It takes a true community to help run a community college. I also want to recognize the real ambassadors for Tunxis Community College, our members of the Tunxis Community College Foundation Board. Please stand and let's give them all a round of applause. Our Foundation Board members. I especially want to recognize Sal Vitrano for his dedication and leadership to the Tunxis Community College Foundation Board. Let's hear it for Sal. Most importantly, I want to recognize the students. If you're a student here this morning, please stand. You are our future leaders, and you are the heart of everything that we do. Now the fun part for me, our students at Asnuntuck are so excited that we're bringing all of these programs to Tunxis. They asked if they could make some gifts for everybody attending here today. So the medallions that are at your table were produced by 3D printers, additive manufacturing, and it's a gift for each one of you to take away, put at your desk, bring home, put in your office. This is additive manufacturing. This is the next wave of manufacturing. According to Boeing, in the next handful of years, a good portion of the airplane, including the engine, will be made with advanced manufacturing and additive technologies. So that's something for you to share. You're also going to notice an aluminum airplane engine that was made by his Nantucket students to show you the skill level the programs we're bringing to Tunxis. These were designed in the classroom by students using CAD and CAM, creating blueprints. Then they took these blueprints out to the production floor and used CNC machines to produce the aluminum parts and 3D printers to produce the polymer parts. Then our electromechanical students installed batteries and wires and a motor and made these engines run. It was a multidisciplinary approach that our students came up with on their own. So please, everybody take the opportunity to play with them, press the button. It really was 3 different disciplines coming together to create this airplane engine. Also, as a little bonus, each table has something hidden under their medallion. If you have a medallion at your table that has a coin attached to it, you are the winner and get to take home the engine as a gift from our students. So everybody check out, if you have a medallion. And again, this is the technology that is coming to Farmington, to Tunxis Community College, something I am so proud of. Lastly, as I wrap up my speech, this morning, all of you coming together to support Tunxis is your testimony to supporting higher education in this region, and I ask everybody in the room to raise a glass. Whether it's orange juice, water, let's toast to Tunxis Community College and to our students. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, everyone.
As you can tell from President Lombella's comments, he's infectiously enthusiastic about Tunxis, and as importantly, the foundation and its efforts to support the students in the college. I must say, President Lombella was a significant contributor to the effort to bring this breakfast together and this conference together and make it successful. He was instrumental in bringing the United Bank Foundation as our chief sponsor, and I thank you for that. In addition to the scholarships that I talked about a few minutes ago, the foundation also funds a student emergency fund. It's a fund which helps students who have emergency financial needs throughout the course of the year. It could be a student is unable to pay their electric bill or unable to secure a babysitter in order to get to their class. So whatever the emergency is that's deemed to be appropriate for receipt of the Student Emergency Fund, this fund has been created and is used throughout the course of the year to aid the students in those kinds of situations, difficult financial situations. Mott Corporation has come on board as a gold sponsor of this morning's breakfast. Chris Holm, and I'll correct the my notation in the program, he's Vice President of Human Relations. He will be introducing the student speaker, Drew Shah. Chris?
Good morning, everyone. I really am proud to be here on behalf of Mott Corporation to clearly support and state our very strong partnership that we want to have not only now but continuing forward with the Tunxis Foundation. But beyond that, and my comments are modified by President Lombella's message, we look forward to being a partner in helping you realize your vision to have strong industry partnership that your students can benefit directly from through internships, cooperative assignments, exploratory mentoring, et cetera. So This is a passion of mine. For the past 30 years, I have been very heavily involved in the career education bridge. And from a company standpoint and from a personal standpoint, I couldn't be happier to be part of this process at this point. You know, the mission of our community colleges, the mission of education as a whole, is to educate, but more importantly, help with the discovery process that our students need to have to choose their professions. And ideally, when they discover their passions, hopefully on our watch, this puts them on the path to attaining excellence. With that said, I can't think of a better segue to introduce our student, Shah, who has demonstrated through his short academic career so far hard work, excellence, and passion for what he does. So, Drew.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it's an absolute honor for me to speak today at this great event. Thank you, Tunxis Community College and Foundation, for this opportunity. As you may know, my name is Dhrumil Shah, or just Dhru. I came to the United States from India in 2012 in search of better education. Looking back at 3 years of high school and 2 years at Tunxis, I did land in the right place in search of better opportunities. My story at Tunxis began in fall 2015 after I graduated from Newington High School. Upon graduation, I was sure that I wanted to pursue a career in engineering, but was not too confident about which branch of engineering I want to study. Tunxis has answered that question for me, and now I know I want to pursue a career in mechanical engineering with a minor in manufacturing. Through Tunxis, I have received so many opportunities such as internships, scholarship, projects, and research, all of which has changed me. One such opportunity came in December 2015 when I attended 15 days hands-on training workshop at Mechanical Engineering Technologies and Manufacturing Engineering Technologies program, also known as Med Square program. The training was conducted by the John Birch Group LLC and the College of Technology, along with Regional Center for Next Generation Manufacturing. The National Science Foundation funded the program. The training was under the experience of John Birch and Karen Vazina. During those 15 days, I, along with few other students from all over Connecticut, received technical and professional training that is required to meet today's changing workforce demands. After the training period, our team was designed with a project called Prosthetic for Kids. We worked for 6 months to develop an affordable prosthetic arm. Using additive manufacturing technology, we designed the prosthetic and used a 3D printer to assemble the prototype. I was able to bring the prototype today just for the display purposes. From my experience so far, and from a student's point of view, manufacturing remains critically important to both the developing and advanced world. It is a vital source of innovation and competitiveness, making outsized contributions to research and developments, exports, and productivity growth. Future manufacturing, or I will say smart manufacturing, will consist of innovations in materials and processes, from nanomaterials to 3D printing to advanced robotics. It also promises to create fresh demand and drive further productivity gains across manufacturing industries and geographies. Because of the previous revolutions, products are being manufactured faster with a higher consistency, and products we are able to develop are increasingly complex and have a greater value to consumers. The new industrial revolution we are experiencing today is powered by the advancement that includes smart manufacturing, robotics, artificial intelligence, and digitalization, all of which are causing changes in the education of new engineers. From my perspective, three-dimensional printing reduces waste by recycling plastics and cuts down on the wait time for replacements of parts and transportation. Its implications for mass production are various, making advancements possible in products ranging from toys to medical devices. It gives you a lot more possibility for how you design a part. Another big trend in manufacturing is automation, which enables a level of accuracy and productivity beyond human ability, even in the environments that are considered unsafe for humans. The new generation of robotics is not only much easier to program, but easier to use with the capabilities like voice and image recognition to recreate complex human tasks. Increased efficiency could spell a bright future for American manufacturing. A shift to smart manufacturing will save our corporations money and translate into greater profits, more jobs, and healthier economies. As our machines move into more complex age, so do our educational institutions and programs must adapt, ushering into a new era of production. Looking at the state of Connecticut, I'm confident that we are headed in the right direction to meet today's workforce demands, especially in manufacturing. It is the result of new or existing manufacturing programs at universities and community colleges across the state, and because of the local manufacturing industries that provide students with hands-on training and internships. Another aspect which I learned that is very essential is networking. We must develop relationships and connections within our network to have more opportunities to advance our career. The breakfast event today is a prime example of building a strong network. Therefore, thank you, Helen Sneed and Tunxis Community College Foundation for this opportunity. It would not have been possible without you. Finally, I would like to thank the Precision Metal Forming Association, Acme Monaco Corporation, and the Carabin family, Lucas and Rebecca Carabin. Because of them, this summer I earned a PMS scholarship that has lowered my financial burden for education, and I was fortunate enough to intern as a quality engineer at Acme Monaco in New Britain. It was an opportunity for me to learn and practice engineering under the experience of George Fournier, the Vice President of Engineering, and Diane Hunter, the Director of Engineering at Acme Monaco. In addition, I was selected to go to Paris to study environment protection and renewable energy for 15 days in June 2017. It was a life-changing experience for me. I'm truly thankful that Tunxis Community College has given me a chance to sharpen my skills in my field of choice with opportunities such as internships, scholarship projects, and research. Thank you, everyone, for your time and constant support to all students. Thank you.
If that's not impressive, I don't know what is. And if you're not impressed, we're going to get the defibrillator to make sure we get you going. That's amazing. And you should have seen your faces. Not one of you, all of you were transfixed on almost every word that he said. So it was wonderful to see that he was able to capture your attention and hopefully spark your initiative and your desire to be part of what has helped him become what he is. In addition to the scholarships that I mentioned earlier and the Student Emergency Fund, your support helps Tunxis Foundation to fund the President's Discretionary Fund. And that's used in promoting initiatives that the President identifies and for which there is no budget support. So we try to provide the President with an opportunity to go outside the box, if you will, outside his budget to do some things that he thinks will promote the students, the college, and the foundation, and we financially support that. In addition, the foundation provides financial services to various groups on campus, including the Veterans Oasis and the Dental Hygiene Department, et cetera. So we're multitasking, multi-level support, not just scholarships. Now, United Bank, it's our signature partner. It was through, as I said, the direct efforts of President Lombella that United Bank Foundation agreed to provide the financial support which has helped to make this conference one of the more financially successful in our history. Brandon Laurie, Executive Vice President, Head of Consumer Banking of the United Bank, will introduce our keynote speaker, Vanessa Williams. Brandon?
So Sal had indicated there was a misstep in the agenda because I have 25 minutes here. I've got some slides, so I'm kidding. So thank you very much, and thank you to President Lombella and the staff here to allow United Bank to participate in this. I'm really honored to stand here as a representative of United. As President Lombella indicated, we continue to be and look forward to continuing to be very vested in the community. Both in really the region. We as an organization, just within the last 30 days, have consolidated about 5 different offices to downtown Hartford. and a real, I believe, commitment to the longevity of the organization that's been around since 1858 and continued growth in the area. So we're very excited to continue the partnership as we have with Asnuntuck and with Tunxis. So for that, thank you very much. For our keynote speaker this afternoon, or this morning, well, it's Friday, sorry, you gotta give me a little break. You know, small world. I grew up in a little town in Virginia called King George, and yeah, right where? And lo and behold, our keynote speaker was a neighbor of mine, which you don't find when you grow up in a podunk town. So, very excited to see that. And if you're nice, she tells us that she'll sing for us. You know that, right? Different Vanessa. All right. So, without further ado, I mean, her expertise, as you know, in the program certainly precedes itself, and from a putting your money where your mouth is, you know, Board of Trustees, Easter Seals, Amistad Center for Arts and Culture, couldn't ask for a better keynote speaker this morning. So with that, thank you, Vanessa.
Can you hear me out there? Is my voice projecting? Do I need a microphone? No, ma'am. You can hear me. All right, I want some more energy in this room. I feel it. Get up. Come on. Get up. Get up. And shake it off a little bit. Get excited. You're with wonderful students this morning. So a round of applause again to all of our students. Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. So it was really funny to meet someone here this morning who recognized the name of my hometown, Kilmarnock, Virginia. I don't even recognize the name of that hometown. It's so big, right? So small. But this morning, I'm excited to be here. Very, very excited to be here. So I would ask you, if we want to change things, and I think we all want to do that, we have to first do what? We have to change ourselves. You can't change things in this world without first starting at home. Change yourself. And that's been my living motto for years. If you want to play in this game of life, you have to show up. Not only show up, make it count, be heard, and make it matter. Because you don't get many chances in this world to make it matter. And what we want to talk about this morning is how each and every one of us have been given the gift to make it matter. So thank you very much. Good morning. And thank you for having me here today. And believe it or not, I'm going to have more fun than each and every one of you. I am not going to sing. I am not going to dance. But if you dig really deep in your pockets and commit, and this is not for the students, for all of us business folks, commit to not only giving, but being present every day between now and the next event next year for every student here, I might change my mind. And Sal will hold me to that, right? Welcome students, faculty, and friends of Tunxis. Welcome this morning, and thank you again for your kind support. I was going to suggest that maybe you hadn't read my bio, but it feels like you might. But let me just say, this topic of change is something that I am personally, intimately positioned very well to talk about. Not only have I struggled with managing change and struggled with the whole dynamic of what do you do next, I now spend my life, my passion, my conviction, helping others, particularly business leaders, deal with the notion of change. And I guess you should say, or you could say, I am one of those reformed corporate hard asses that a lot of you probably might see when you look in the mirror, or you know, but none of your students here will become. We're going to make sure of that. So what reformed me? What reformed me was really dealing with change. And change is oftentimes a word so many of us shake in our boots, me in my red shoes today, because you're afraid of it. And why are you afraid of something like change? Because change for me opened up doors, opened up my mind, opened up possibilities. It made me feel, I'm going to beat you, Mr. or Ms. Change. I'm going to own it. I'm going to show up, be present, make a difference, and this person change will not own me. I will own it. So starting today, what are all of you going to do if some boomerang hits you tomorrow? Own it. You're going to own it. You're not going to let change own you. Why are people oftentimes so afraid of change? It's because of this funky thing called failure. Afraid to fail. Well, I like to flip things so I can own it. I would say you're not going to fail. You might not succeed, but you're not going to fail. And what does not succeeding mean? Well, if there's one thing you walk away from today's conversation with me, is that not succeeding means that there's a new possibility for tomorrow. Not succeeding means that there's a new opportunity for you to grow. Not succeeding means that you can embrace tomorrow. And embracing tomorrow means you get another chance to make a difference. Embracing tomorrow means you, not change, not everyone else, can make a difference. So to put a little reality on that, if you happen, and I say this to the students, to be in a meeting today, and it just didn't go well, do not walk out of that room and agonize over what you should have and didn't do. Put on your big girl, big boy pants and go back tomorrow and do it over. You get a do-over and learn from it, because learning means you won't continue to not succeed. You'll open up another door. I told you that I was intimately familiar with the topic, change, but what I'm also intimately familiar with is what failure feels like. And instead of letting it hold me back, I let it push me forward. I let it instead become one of my best memorable moments of my career. Only you can allow bad things to feel bad for very long. Nobody else can do that to you. So here's my short story. Working in the corporate sector for years, growing up in my corporate career, I thought, crazy me, if you had the title, you got respect. I thought, crazy me again, that if you wanted something to happen, you tell people to make it happen. I did not read that in books. That's what I learned. And I happen to be very fortunate to have a boss. And I hope all of you have that person who's holding your hand even when they're not there, who saw she's going down a road that's not going to be good for her. And he liked me, number one. And he pulled me aside and said, you're not really engaging people. You're not really embracing people. You need help. It was my first introduction to a coach. And it could be that you have a person who's a friend, or your pastor, or your brother. It could be anyone. But he cared enough about me that he put himself out there for me. He brought in an executive coach who was able to get me to do the one thing that it was very hard for me to do. I hope it's not hard for you, but ask for help. Simple thing. I said I wasn't perfect. I asked for help. And I worked with this coach who worked with other people to help them do one simple thing: translate what you think you see and hear when you talk with Vanessa, understand it from her point of view, understand it from the outside in. Easy, easy thing to do. But what this coach helped me do was to do exactly that. Instead of making it all about me, I made it about the person in the room in the space with me. I heard them. I let them come in. And I allowed them to get in my head and my space. So things started going really, really well. And I got promoted. I'm doing well. I'm now part of a large division, very, very successful, was able to turn around negative perceptions about me. And I got promoted, really huge promotion. I'm rocking, I'm cooking. Things are going really well. And I would imagine you're saying, well, goodness, what could have happened, right? No more bumps. A year after all of this great stuff, traveling around the world, I was hit with the biggest bump I've ever been hit with. I was diagnosed with cancer. And it was a horrible, horrible day. I remember it today. I was in a meeting, rocking and rolling, and I came out, and it was a phone call from my doctor, and she said, I need to see you. I don't have time for this. I have a meeting. I need to see you. I refused to get off of the phone. Tell me what? So she tells me, 3:15 in the afternoon, had a 5 o'clock meeting. I didn't have time for this. You have cancer. And I put the phone down, and I was what? Really pissed. How dare I get this right now? I'm going to India the next week. I have just purchased a sailboat. I'm going on a trip with my husband, and I just got a cat. Who's going to take care of the cat? I couldn't deal with it. So what did I do? I got pissed. I got really pissed. I shut my computer down, got in my car, and I'm driving along, and I'm saying to myself, this has changed everything. There's a totally new program. It's changed everything. So I've got to change myself. So I'm driving down the road, and I look to my left, and I see a sign, beauty salon. You're wondering where's she going with this one, right? I pulled in, and I said to the woman who was there, I really do want to look different when I walk out, and boy, did I. I had bright red hair and blonde highlights. I told her I wanted to look like Tina Turner, and she got it all wrong. All wrong. My middle name is Turner, my maiden name. She got it all wrong. So I'm now in the car, looked like hell, and I've got to go home and tell my husband. I walk in the door, and it really wasn't a planned strategy. And he says, what the heck? You're not going on the boat with me looking like that. And he spent all of his time talking about this hairstyle. It made it so easy to tell him his life was going to change too. And the message from that story is find a way to step away from the problem at hand long enough to get in control, long enough to get some balance, long enough to be able to see what's on the other side. And there was an other side. Change is something that is going to always knock you for a loop, but it doesn't have to keep you down, right? Doesn't have to keep you down. I moved through that, but what it did do for me, it made me slow down and get some balance. It made me slow down and just breathe. And it made me realize life is too short to not really do what makes you smile every single day of the minute. Smile in your heart every day. So that's when really for me, I made my tipping point. And I went from corporate badass to executive coach because I felt my mission, what got me over the other side, was I wanted to give back. I wanted to give forward. I wanted to really make it matter. that I was still here. And cancer wasn't going to stop me from doing that. Having people not appreciate me until I transformed myself wasn't going to stop me. But I felt, had it not been for two people, my boss and friend, and my coach, who said to me, "You're better than that. Be better than that. Give back. Let people see your richness and your joy. Be honest," I would not have had the courage or the will or the passion to transform. So what does all of that mean to you in this room today? It means that you have the passion, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't, to pay it forward and be a change agent. Did I get it right? Do you have the passion? Did I get it right? Yes. And you have the commitment to pay it forward. And it could be as simple as your next door neighbor that you haven't talked with needs something. And you go over and you just ask, "Can I help?" Pay it forward. So when we think of the state of Connecticut, we are all collectively at a tipping point. And we can't let the fear of what's going to happen next to the state, to the industry, hold us back. It should propel us forward, because it's our time to be personally invested in making this state the brightest state in the world. The possibilities are in this room. I've had the pleasure of traveling all over the world, of working with a lot of leaders, and we all struggle with exactly the same thing. We're afraid to move out of our lanes and try something different. Doing what you did every day gets you the same result you got yesterday. You have to try something different. You have to unpack what you know, and don't just repackage it. Don't regift it. Don't regift it. You really have to put a different package in place to deal with the challenges of the future. Trust me when I tell you, those same executives all over the world have the same fears that we do, the same insecurities that we do, and they are frightened when they don't have tried and true solutions. I would say to you, scary should propel you to make magic happen. Scary should propel you to make magic happen. And when magic happens, what happens along with it? Growth happens. Learning happens. Revenue, making the state profitable, happens. Leaders, like the leaders in this room, are born. Connecticut has challenges ahead. Let's not look back. We have the next generation of leaders here with us, and we, the seasoned folks, those of us who've been in the trenches, who know what it takes, whether it is producing a product or being in human resources where you're helping people be at their very best. You are in control of the situation. Give to the students today and every day. Give them opportunities to learn. So much has been said about the millennials today. You read it all the time. I get annoyed when I read it. It calls them lazy, not creative, not loyal, not interested, not willing to work with the seasoned people in the room. It's not true. I don't believe it. I've worked with individuals of all levels. I have the greatest fun when I am coaching someone who's just starting in their career because they are so excited and interested in learning. Give them the chance to learn. And I'm not only talking about internships for the engineers and the individuals who can design and produce. I'm talking individuals at all different positions in your company. invite students to come in to just shadow you for a day. Invite them to sit in a board meeting so they can see what really goes on in there. Invite them to be maybe when you're sitting across from a customer, you're trying to get them to say yes to a deal. There's no missed opportunity by doing that. The give back for you is that student might spark an idea that you hadn't thought about. They might question something as simple as a supply process that you hadn't thought about. They might ask you a question. Why is the body language of so-and-so in the room such a problem? And you might not think of those opportunities as opportunities to bring our students from Tunxis into your organization. Don't wait for the program. I know I shouldn't say that to educators in the room. Create the program around the person. Don't put the program in the box and wait for the perfect fit. I was not a perfect fit, but because I had people like you, I was able to find a fit, a match. So don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Our students, like you, are agents of change. They are collaborators for the future. They are going to be part of the amazing change in Connecticut, and we need them to stay in Connecticut. We need Connecticut to be rich with opportunity, excitement, so that we don't lose the wonderful knowledge that we're growing with our students. And that might mean that many of the students have to change the lane that they're in. They are trained in a professional capacity to go into one profession versus another. Give them permission. If a student comes into your office and they've been working as an engineer and they say, I really like accounting, could happen. Help them move to that lane. Your objective should be no student leaves the state of Connecticut for a better opportunity. They find it here. They find it here. And they start with Tunxis. That's your responsibility. So let's embrace the students' creativity and ideals. Let's help them help us overcome our economic turmoil that we are faced with right now. And let's, as senior leaders, help them by paying it forward. So students, and you're scattered in the room, but I want you to pretend no one's here but us right now. I want to talk with you for a moment. It's scary out there, and I get that. But sometimes it's scarier in here. Why do I say that? Because you are among individuals who've gone the path ahead of you. Don't be afraid to challenge us, to ask us questions. Don't be afraid to say you have a different opinion. Sit in meetings and learn by listening and observing how to have conversations and how to have tough conversations. Start now. It's the most valuable experience that I'm sure any senior leader in this room will tell you they have had. Being able to have those difficult conversations with yourself first. Remember, I said in the beginning, you have to start with yourself. If you want things to change, you have to first change yourself. So you're at a wonderful point in time to change, maybe, or tweak, perhaps, enhance, of course, how you go about being you. Learn now. Don't be afraid to, before you leave today, find someone who's not a student and say, could we spend some time together? Can we have a cup of coffee? Can I come to your office and just sit in a corner and observe? Don't wait for the internship. These are relationships. So don't leave here today. I'm going to be watching, I promise you. Unless you've walked up to someone, introduced yourself, and asked permission to visit their office in the next couple of weeks. So, senior leaders, let me now talk with you a little bit. You have to do the same. I've been in your shoes, and I know how easy it is for you to say, I will talk with HR and see if they can maybe meet with you if we have an intern program, and if we haven't filled it by now, and if you're in this professional discipline, I'll get back to you. And you never do, because we get busy. Or your company doesn't have a program that suits perfectly these wonderful students that are here. So I need you to promise me you will do a whole lot of different things between now and next year. I'm hoping Sal invites me back to at least be part of the audience, because I have a memory like my mother had. She didn't forget anything. And I'm going to ask, what have you done since the last meeting? Did you have a student come in and talk with you, observe you, maybe give them an opportunity to run a meeting, to talk with other students? Did you maybe have someone in human resources from Tunxis, might not be their discipline, but let them learn what it's like to be in HR in a manufacturing company, or in a bank, or anywhere? What have you done? It's not just about writing the check, your own or from your company. It's about you showing up, coming over, sitting in a class, networking. It's about you. So I will ask you, in a year, what did you do between today and then? And I want it to be really powerful. I want you to know at least one student by name and know what they're going through. Know what their family might be going through. Help them move on the different lane that they need to get on. Is that a promise you can make to yourself today? Is that a promise you can make to yourself today? I'm hard of hearing, I tell you. Can you make that promise today? Congratulations to you for that. So, how can we change what we are currently doing now to support our future leaders? How will we all go outside of our comfort zones to make a difference? What hidden talents do you have as the experienced individuals that you can share and pass on? And students, what talents do you have that we can benefit from today? Don't be afraid to share your ideas, students. Being seasoned doesn't mean we're right. Being seasoned doesn't mean we've been there, done that. It just means we need to hear of different ways to do things. You are the change we need as much as you are the change the state of Connecticut needs. I've given you all a lot to think about and ponder, and I hope that you will do as Nelson Mandela, one of my favorites, he said, we can change the world and make it a better place. It is in our hands to make a difference. And I'm going to say that again because I want you to feel it. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in our hands to make a difference. I always like to leave people with a couple of my little bits that I like, and I want you to kind of imprint this in your mind. Show up. And by this I mean not only honoring your commitments and saying you made the meeting. Be invested. Show up in your hearts. Be there. Be genuine in your thoughts and your actions. The millennials can spot phony, and believe me, a lot of us old-timers can too. Serve, give back, go beyond writing the check. Give back through yourselves. And this one is the most simple, but sometimes the hardest. Say thank you. Say thank you. You would be surprised how motivating that is. I hope you're as committed and all in to Tunxis and the students around you as I am. And I hope you're committed to even thinking about what I've talked about this morning when you go home. Change is not the enemy. Change is the motivator. It's your friend. But you've got to own it. You've got to control it. No excuses, unless the excuse is you failed to succeed. Thank you very much.
You're not going to leave yet.
I'm not going to leave yet.
You're not going to leave yet. First of all, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Very impressed, very impressive. I understand now why you're so successful.
I'm successful because I have good friends.
Well,
thank you.
Just as a small token of our appreciation, we couldn't do enough,
Thank
but
you.
just a thank you.
Thank you. No macadamia cookies?
We can work that out.
Okay.
All right, all right.
He had them when I went to meet him,
right.
and I didn't get one.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First, I was asked to make an announcement. I have, in my hot little hand, 4 rounds of golf at Hawks Nest Golf Course in Southington, which if you're interested in, you need to raise your hand, and a young lady will come by with a $5 ticket, and we will draw a ticket in about 5 minutes to see who ends up with the 4 rounds of golf. And don't hesitate to raise your hand and make a commotion. Wave your money like Tim is while I give concluding remarks, because it won't interfere with what I've got to say. First of all, Vanessa has said on 3 occasions today already that she will put her mouth where her money is. So I'm suggesting that you might think, Jim, that there might be a role periodically for her to play in terms of motivating your students, your faculty. Don't, if you follow through with what she suggested, don't hesitate at giving her a call. I think you'll find her very enthusiastically supportive.
It's already on my agenda.
I figured that. Haven't known you long, but I figured that. Just a couple of concluding remarks. I mean, from Vanessa, we, of course, heard and learned that when one effectively embraces change, that effective embracement will lead to transformative growth and development. From President Lombella, we've heard that there is change afoot in the college in terms of the direction that he envisions the various programs to move, and those changes will in fact create changes for our students and effectively help them grow and develop into the people that they need to be functionally effective in the world in the future. And from Drew, who among us has changed so dramatically as he apparently has? I mean, it's been just a few years, Drew. How long was it? When did you come from India? 2012. So it's been 5 years. I would suggest, I don't know him very well, I haven't talked with him very much, but I would bet that the young man that stepped off that plane or boat from India 5 years ago is drastically and significantly different than the young man that sits before you today. And that was a result. And can you imagine the changes that he has gone through over the course of those 5 years? And he apparently has effectively embraced those changes because they've been transformative to him. So, having said all of that, I hope you all enjoyed today. There's still money being held up, so I'm going to chatter a bit. But I hope you all enjoyed today. I was asked by Keith, who is the executive director at the foundation as Nuntuck, whether we're going to lock the doors and make an effective and make a last ask in order to let you guys out of here. And I said to him that we've never done that before, and he indicated that that's pretty effective. So we're not going to do it today because we're not prepared, but be prepared next year when you do come. We probably will have a last ask before you leave. Is that what you guys do up there?
We have on occasion.
Okay. I guess my last ask is that you try to donate for those raffle tickets. I'm going to keep that. And I think, does someone have the time? Yeah, does somebody have the time? It's 9:30. 9:30. So we're going to get you out of here well before 9:45, which was my goal. I'm going to let them, since I can't really pratter on, I'm going to let them do what they're going to do, and then we'll do the drawing in about a minute. Vanessa cornered me and suggested that I suggest to you that after we break up, rather than leave, it might be a good time for those in the corporate world to network with the students, as she suggested, and make those contacts. President Lombella. Oh, I'm impressed.
All right, here we go. Let's shake them up. Get a hold of just one. Oh, it seems like I have two. Hang on. There we go.
All right.
You want to call the winner?
You can do it.
All right, the winner is 762009. Got it? Who has it? There we go.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And finally, please take a moment to take a look at the program, particularly the page that thanks all of the volunteers. This program, or this breakfast this morning, would not have happened without each and every one of those individuals volunteering and working together as a cohesive team to bring about this breakfast. It's a new experience for us. Typically, we've had an executive director, and we've relied on the executive director to do that. We do not have one now, and it was incumbent upon all of us in the foundation, in the faculty, in the president's staff, and those volunteers, and everyone came through. And quite frankly, that change from executive director to no executive director brought about growth and opportunity for us to learn how we can actually move forward in a more collaborative, involved way. So it works, and we're proof of it. Thank you all. Have a safe trip back to work.